let's make my homemade marshmallows. They are really good for your stomach, really good for your small intestines, really good for your colon. They're really, really, really good to soothe inflammation in your digestive tract. They are made with marshmallow root. Okay, marshmallow root is from the marshmallow plant. It is just the root of the plant. And honestly, I think it's one of the best smelling herbs, or it's just what my body needs right now. I love it. It's a very like fluffy, light colored root. And when it is soaked in cold water, it turns the cold water very slimy. It's a demulcent, and this is it soaking in 1 cup of water, cool water. It's one of the few herbs that you will soak in cool water, and hot water doesn't really work for marshmallow root. So I've had this soaking for about 24 hours. It is 1 cup of water, filtered water, and 1 tablespoon of marshmallow root. This marshmallow root water is really good when you have a sore throat or you have some stomach upset. You can also drink it. It's not the best flavor, but that's why I make them into marshmallows and eat them every day, because I add protein to it's gelatin, so I add protein to the water and you get protein as well. So all the good things for your gut system. This is what I was making myself, and I still am. Every single day I eat 2 of my marshmallows as I am detoxing through eating freshly milled flour. So what you're going to need is a saucepan, because we're going to heat this up and we're going to mix it with some maple syrup. All right, so you're going to take your marshmallow root that's been soaking for 24 hours. I like an extra soak, okay? We're going to get a fine strainer and we're going to strain our liquid. It is 1 cup of water into our pan, and just kind of press down and get all that mucus liquid out. I love it. Let's turn this on, okay? We're going to turn it on to medium high. I also have 1 cup of maple syrup. I use maple syrup as a sweetener. You can try other stuff. I personally don't like the flavor of honey, and honey can have adverse reactions to some people, so I do maple syrup. You can try other sugars. I have not. By all means, go ahead and try and see what happens. But you have to get this to a liquid state. So you would put the sugar in here and make sure all the sugar is melted. We're going to get a whisk, and I have found this is the best way to do it rather than waiting for it to warm up. I use a grass-fed beef gelatin, and I use 1/3 of a cup of that beef gelatin, and I just sprinkle it in and whisk it up. Now this is going to make it get a little bit like thick as it's cold, but for some reason I have tried heating it up and then sprinkling it, and I get chunks. So I find that this is the best way to do it. Put it in before it starts to warm up. And we're just going to warm this up until everything is dissolved. It does not need to boil. Just until everything is dissolved. And once everything is dissolved, we're going to switch it over to the KitchenAid mixer. We are now totally dissolved. There's no more chunks of gelatin in there. We're totally good. We're going to transfer it over to our KitchenAid mixer, okay? Or some mixer that you have. You need a mixer here. This is going to take a lot of whipping. We're going to add a lot of air to it to make it marshmallowy. Okay, so I'm going to use the whisk attachment to my KitchenAid mixer. We're going to put it on our KitchenAid mixer, or any mixer that you have that has a whisk attachment. And we are going to whisk it for a while. So I'm using it on the highest level, okay, because we want to make like whipped cream almost. We're going to get it to a consistency of still liquid, but it's going to be a little bit whiter. It's a light brown color right now. So we're going to add also 1 teaspoon of vanilla halfway through this mixing period, okay? All right, she's all done mixing, and I have 2 silicone loaf pans here. You can use anything you want. You can even use a glass pan with parchment paper lined, but you need to have the parchment paper lining in it. You won't get the marshmallow out if you do. So I really like silicone pans for this. They peel right out. But this is what it looks like. It's still liquidy, but it's all white and fluffy. Still want that liquid. If you go anything past this, you're going to get marshmallow already and you won't be able to get it out of the bowl. So now that it's still liquid, we're going to pour half. I just do half and half. So half in one container and then half in the other. You can make these as thick or as thin as you want. Does not matter. So I love these. These are a 9x5 loaf pan, and the silicone works really, really good to be able to peel the marshmallows out. And these are going to go straight into the fridge after this for about 30 minutes. I personally like to use and keep these in the fridge at all times. They do stay at room temperature, nothing too warm. So if your house is really warm, you definitely want to keep these in the fridge because they will liquefy again. But I have kept them on my counter, room temperature in a container. I just like the coolness from them being in the fridge, and the coolness is also really good and soothing on the throat and the gut and everything. So I love them cool. So we're going to let these sit for 30 minutes and we're going to come back in. I'm going to peel them out and then we can cut them up into squares. And all right, they're all done cooling. We got our medicinal marshmallows ready to pop out of these silicone molds. Are you ready? So I just like to invert the silicone mold and they literally pop right out. It's so fun. And then go ahead and take it and put it on your surface and cut them up into little marshmallow squares. I like to cut them to about this size. And then I like to store them in a container and I like to store them in the fridge. But look how squishy they are. These are medicinal marshmallows. Really, really amazing for gut inflammation, a sore throat. It's going to make you feel good. Eating them and your whole body on the inside is going to love you. Plus, it's a little bonus of added protein. So go make yourself some medicinal marshmallows.